Yo, what is going on, boys and girls? It is your favorite commentator, Nasty, here today with another commentary. First off, I want to start by apologizing for not being very active in the YouTube community and Twitter. Just mainly two reasons. One, GTA 5, and two, GTA 5. So I bet you can understand why I've been inactive. But the main reason of this video is to explain what defines a pro player. Like, what exactly makes you a pro player, a top pro player, a bottom line pro player? And what has happened to the line of semi-pros? What happened to the semi-pro level? Is semi-pro, well, the way I thought of semi-pro, I thought of it as like the middle class, like AM, sort of like lower class, competitive COD players. Then you got semi-pros for like middle class, and you got top semi-pros, the higher middle class, and you got the pros, like the upper class. So I like to think of it as a class system, competitive Call of Duty. But now it's just AM, top AM, and not semi-pro, and pro. So there really is no semi-pro level anymore, and that's what I'm going to be going in depth into this video. Wow, I'm losing my words. I can't even say anything right now. It's because I probably want to go play more Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'm making a video about Call of Duty, and I am obsessed with GTA 5. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a review video on it or not. It's kind of cliche, but I bet I'll probably do it because I'm a huge GTA fan. But anyways, on to the main part of this video. So I want to start off by talking to you about the Pro Point system. The Pro Point system was released on August 15th, 2013, because the reason I say the date is because I don't know when you're watching this video. You could be watching it 5 years from now, wondering what defines a pro player, and I'm giving you the date of when the Pro Point system was released. It's just something I'm giving you. So the date of the Pro Point system, August 15th, 2013. And with that date was released the Pro Point system. What the Pro Point system was is basically a system where if you have a minimum number of points, you can be defined as a pro, and if you have a certain number of points, you can be defined as a top AM. And with that, I'm not sure what the number of pro points I'm sorry. I'm not sure what the number of pro points you need to become a pro player. It might be 1,000 to be considered a bottom of the line pro. It might be considered 5,000. I'm not 100% sure, but I have heard rumors that you need at least 1,000 pro points to be considered somewhat pro. And to be considered top AM, I believe you do need, I think, 100 pro points, something in that range. Or no, I don't think you even need that. I think you just need like at least one pro point. But this is with the pro point system. And with this pro point system, it totally got rid of the semi-pro level. It's totally gotten rid of things like it's just bad. Honestly, I hate the pro point system because I like to think of pro as something relative or something you think of. Like if you consider somebody pro and they consider themselves pro and other people consider that person pro, then he's a pro. I hate how this pro point system defines you as a pro player, and and that you need to have a certain number of pro points to be considered pro. And if you don't have it, then you're not pro. Because there are many people that are definitely good enough to be at the pro level, and definitely are probably better than pros. There's probably people better than pros, but they don't have the pro points because maybe they don't have as much money as the pros. They can't afford to go into tournaments, and if they lose their money, but if they win, they get the pro points. But if they can't afford to go into the tournaments and they can't get their pro points, and the only way to get their pro points is go into GB, and they don't have enough time for GB, then they can't be considered a pro. But before the pro point system, they were considered pro. Now, there are definitely a handful of people that take advantage of the pro point system. With the pro point system, on Gamebattles, you can earn pro points. You don't even have to go to an MLG event to get pro points. You can be on the top 20. You can be top 25 on a hand-picked ladder by Gamebattles, and if you win a match, I believe each player in the team gets like a pro point or something for each match won, or maybe 5 pro points. I'm not 100% sure on that number as well. I haven't done my homework, but I do know that if you are in the top 25 on a certain ladder, you will get pro points for every match won. And I just find that crazy because you can just grind it out on GB and win matches, and eventually you can just win enough matches, you can become pro off of playing Gamebattles. You can be an S&D star and just win a ton of matches off of Gamebattles, and you'll get pro points, which I just find that ridiculous. Now, I do somewhat appreciate, this is the one aspect I do like of it, the Game Mouse tournaments. I do like how they have these 5,000 series and these 2,000 series, so you can get pro points by competing in tournaments online. Now, there are certain people who, like I said, they're good enough to be pros, but they can't afford maybe the travel. They can't get the plane tickets, they can't get their hotel reservations, so they aren't able to go to the tournaments, but they're definitely good enough to be considered pro. So, I mean, with this tournament, this allows them to compete from home, and this allows them to earn their respect back as a pro through online, which I do appreciate that. I do think that's something good, but at the same time, the negatives outweigh the pros. So that's probably the one positive aspect. Man, I am coughing all day. That is probably the one aspect of the pro point system that I actually do like. All the other aspects I am negative towards. Definitely because they've gotten rid of the semi-pro level. Before the pro point system, I was considered a semi-pro since I A was sponsored, B I won tournaments, and C I was definitely good enough to be at the semi-pro level. I was definitely good. I was probably a top semi-pro. But now with this, with the pro point system out, I am not a pro. I am a top AM. So I'm stuck at the top AM level. And when I think of competitive COD, I think, like I said, I think of the AM as sort of the lower class. I don't mean to say things bad about the AM level. I'm sure I know there's a lot of amateurs out there that are very good players. And they just haven't made their way yet. And I apologize if I have offended you guys in any way, but I'm sorry. This is just the way that I think of it. I mean, it's not lower class like, oh, you're terrible, you're poor. I'm just saying it's like a pathway. Like you start at AM, then you make your way up to pro. So it's like a ladder, and like you start at the bottom of the ladder at AM. So people that were semi-pro or top semi-pro like me, they're sort of like midway to higher up the ladder. And now, like with this, well, the pro point system, that just shot me back down towards the lower end of that ladder. So then again, you do have the counter argument for this is the ladder, I guess you could say, is shorter. So then you have AM, top AM, then you have pro. So the ladder, it's a lot easier to get to pro this way. But at the same time, pros are complaining about how it's a lot easier to get to pro now. Pro was something they earned. Pro was something that people respected. Now anybody can get to pro. So if you're pro, it's not as special as it was before. It's not as respected. And I do agree with the pros on that. And I believe everybody should, because pro is something that you should earn. Pro is not something that anybody can earn online. It should be, you have to go to events, you have to do well in events, you have to be good, you have to earn it. I'm 100% with them. But I mean, with this, unfortunately, MLG decided to release this pro point system, and with that, just totally took out the semi-pro level, totally made pro something easy to get for everyone, which that's another aspect. I mean, I'm a fan of this one aspect of it, as well as the other aspect I mentioned before. Anybody can get pro. Before, it was really hard to get pro. I mean, you had to be good. You had to earn it, and I agree with that. But now, I mean, this gives the opportunity to so many people who are trying to become pro, who have been trying for years to bridge the gap between their careers as AMs and pro. So, I mean, this does give the opportunity to many people to actually get to pro, because they've been trying for years. Like me, I'm still trying to get my way to pro. Still trying to win lands. I'm still trying to get to a pro team, things like that. I'm still trying to make a pro team as well. I mean, I would love to found my own pro team and get players to that, but I'm unable to because I am not a pro. So this does give me the opportunity to get to pro, and I do appreciate that. That's probably the two things I appreciate about the pro point system is the thing I mentioned before, and it gives the opportunity to many people who have been trying to become pro to get to pro. So really, those are the only two aspects I would agree with, and honestly, I think those are the only two aspects everybody agrees with. Everything else is just negative. So I've already mentioned a bunch of negatives, and here I only have two positives associated with the pro point system, and I'm just angry actually to see the semi-pro level go, because I mean, I still call myself a semi-pro. I really do. I mean, I don't care if people say, "Oh, you're not a semi-pro. The semi-pro level's gone. You're top AM." I don't care. I'm gonna still call myself a semi-pro, because that's what I was before the pro point system. That's what I am after the pro point system. I'm a semi-pro. So even though the semi-pro level is totally dissolved, it does not exist, I am still going to continue to call myself a semi-pro, even though I am a top AM. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, rate, and subscribe. That all helps. That all helps. It helps me so much if you subscribe, you watch my videos. Just tell your third cousins to watch it. Tell your grandma to watch it. Tell your best friend to watch it. I do not care who watches this video. I appreciate all viewership. But once again, thank you guys for watching. I really hope this has helped you figure out whether or not you like the pro point system or not. But have a good day.